What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Friday Live by the Hood. This is our Friday show where we go live, Corey and I, and we have conversation with the community, talk about things going on in the world of finance, investment, business, however you want to categorize it. You know what I'm saying? We just kick it, have little conversations, talk about what investments we got going on, and share with the community and have people chime in and bring some conversation to us, man. I'm your host. My name is Jimmy. If you haven't watched this, might be your first time watching us. And we have our Wednesday podcast where we highlight people that are doing amazing work in the community. And then Friday we come on for a little while. We don't stay around for hours and hours, but it depends upon how long the conversation goes. And just talk about business and investing. Do me a favor. Please hit the like button. People coming in now, I see. Please hit the like button. Please share this and give us some comments. Let us know where you're checking in from. And let us know what you think about what's going on in the world of investing, man. I got my partner Corey with me. Corey, what's up, good brother?
Man, every day above ground is a good thing, man. This new 2020 world, weird and wild as shit. So
Fam, it's crazy, man. Like, it's more loss of life this year for me, like that comes close to me than probably ever. Like, I got so many like friends losing family. It's absolutely insane out here, man. So like you say, just staying alive in 2020 is an accomplishment these days, right?
yeah, man.
Oh yeah, we happy to be this Friday.
2020 is 2019. That's how 2019 was for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was, the loss of life of people very, very close to me was out of control. Like it was overwhelming to the point where, like, I couldn't wait to get to 2020, and then we got this shit.
Yo, yeah, how about that, man? So we come into the show, we talk about like things we do in our personal portfolio. And I'm gonna start with you. What moves did you make this week, if any?
Uh, I bought 300 shares of Plug. I traded on I did cover calls on 200 of them, and I ran a cash secure put for another 100 if it rolled back. Um, I had 359 shares that I already had, and I ran a cover call on 200 of those shares. Them shits got called away too, because Plug because so I still got 159 shares, and
Mm-hmm.
I made a nice little profit this week. Because Plug ran crazy, but in the
Yeah.
last 2 weeks, that shit up 75% in 2 weeks.
Mm.
So that shit went from $14 to $24.
Yeah, man.
So
That's
in the
crazy.
last 2 weeks, so my shares got called away. So basically, 600 of my 750 shares got called away. But that's why I always keep. But I got 159 shares that have appreciated 70% in the last 2 weeks. So, and I made money on those other shares. I didn't. It's not like I lost money on those other shares. And I
Mm-hmm.
was running cash secure puts, so I made money on that side too. So, I mean, it's not like I lost a bunch of money. I just didn't make as much money. Literally, if I would have just bought the shares and held them, I probably would have made I'm gonna say about $700 to $800 more than I
Mm-hmm.
made by trading the wheel just by holding the shares because of how it turned out with it going up 70% in 2 weeks. But I couldn't call that. I couldn't call a stock going up 70% in 2 weeks. I also bought. I mean,
No,
I
you can't. Who
mean,
can? Yeah, you're
yeah,
right. You're
yeah,
right.
yeah. 70%. I thought, I left some room in there. I had 20, 25, 30% run on some of them joints, and it still just shot right past it. So, I mean, ain't nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
But I also bought I buy my kids they stuff weekly. So I bought some I started buying uh electric vehicle. I started buying DRIV for them because that's the electric vehicle and autonomous and the AI electric vehicle and autonomous I forgot what they call it, the AI.
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah, artificial intelligence, my fault. Artificial intelligence ETF. And
Okay.
so, that's the wave. That's the next wave coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So I started buying that ETF now, um, for them. So every week you're gonna get one of those. And I tried to buy some metals this week. You sent me a link, and them Jones sold out before I can get my hands on one.
I told you. Listen, man. Yo, to all you people out there in the sneaker game, man. Yo, stay in your lane over there, man.
Stay your ass where you at.
Because and I did a quick video. I'm going to probably do a bigger one that I'll drop on Monday about that specific coin that I got. So my investments this week was literally all over the place. I was in like different sectors, right? So just finished a rehab property, man, and you talk about Rona just still having an effect. Actually, Rona look like it's coming back with vengeance right now. But want to put this property on the market. Problem is, all of the appliances that we ordered is all on back order because of Rona. Like, and it's crazy because I was going to like different Lowe's, Home Depot. Like I went to a couple distributors that we generally use, and then went to Lowe's, Home Depot, and you talk to the folks there, and they like, you can go to as many of them you want to. We get our stuff from the same people, and everybody's on back order. So that's affecting that. Shout out to my partner Kerry in real estate though. He's holding things down. Still getting us to the finish line with that deal. In terms of other things that I bought in the market, I did get out of one of my leaps. So XLF was a January 2023 leap that I had. When the market jumped up right after the election. So on Monday, when everything was going crazy, I hit like 35% and got out. It was between 30 and 35%. It was like 30-something%. I meant to put it in our a private group to show the students in there, but I got out right away. I was like, I know I got a couple years left, but the one thing I learned from brother Jay Johnson, and salute to Jay Johnson, look, take your bread and reposition. So I'm trying to stay focused with that. So I got out of that, and I bought another leap in SLV going to 2023. So right now I'm sitting on a January 2021 leap with Nokia and 2 SLV leaps in 2023. That's what I did in the trading game. With coins, I did a lot. Actually, before we even came on, I just got an order in. I got a bunch of like different coins here that just came in right before we got on here. But I shared on the timeline a coin, 75th anniversary of World War II was a coin that I got from the mint, right? And for those who didn't see my video, I'll tell the story here. I bought the coin for $83. As soon as I got it, looked on the private market, the coin is going for close to $1,000. So that flip is crazy. And as excited as I was about that, I still was a little pissed because if I could have got my hands on the gold one cost $2,600 and they sell them for over 10 grand. Problem is, all right, so the mint had 2 limited edition releases just this past week. And generally speaking, you go in the mint, you can like if you get in within a certain time, you can you might have to refresh a couple times or whatever. But this time it was absolutely insane. They blocked me and banned me from their website at one point because I was going ham trying to take advantage of one of them Johns. So talking to someone on IG was telling me, this brother is like into the sneaker game. He was like, man, that flip was in our groups. So a lot of the bots and tricks that people use within the sneaker game, they brought it over here to precious metals to take advantage of the quick flip. I'm like, man, they got to do in the mint. And I actually read a story online. The mint just wasn't expecting as much traffic as they got, but people went in on it. So, I missed out on I could have made, quick 10 bands that I couldn't get, but it is what it is, man. But I did get the silver one that I shared on the timeline. I'm going to do a video about that is going to drop this week. Also, man, the precious metals course is just about done. So that'll be out very, very soon, which is Intro to Precious Metals. And I think this is one of the best bodies of work that we have. And the reason I say that is because this is going to help a lot of folks get started. Because, one of the questions I got is from multiple people. Well, don't you just buy the metal and sit on it and that's it, right? And I'm like, no, it's a lot more to it. It's a lot more to it because you can lose a lot of money. You can lose a lot of money if you just do that, right? Because you have to know what you're looking for, why you're being charged, where to go. Security is a big thing that was talked about in the course. So it's all of those things and all the little hacks are within the course. I'm giving all the game out, all of it. So that'll be out soon, man. But yeah, so investing this week was pretty crazy, man. I also did pick up some stable coins. I bought some DAI.
Hmm.
And salute to our community, because again, I don't take credit for everything, man. Like our community be putting me down with so much bread. Like the thing is, me and you share a lot, but because we share a lot, and that's one of the secrets that I want to put out there just in general. When you learn something and you share it, it comes back to you, dog. Like I've been put on so much money from our community in terms of like how to stake my stable coins. Like some of the stuff I learned from like, Rush, Deshaun, those brothers right there is like,
Rich.
and Rich as well. Rich as well. Can't leave out Rich. And some of the game they put me on, like I'm getting 12%, like without doing anything. Literally, like not even doing anything. So salute to them. And so
Yeah.
that's
I
kind of like,
Yeah, in that game, I just been buying. Like I just bought I spent a paycheck on Ethereum. Like I
yeah.
just dumped the check on the joint. Like I need some ether. Like I'm out here like on Nas.
Yeah, man.
I'm on some Nas shit.
Yo, listen,
Ether.
man. Eth is what. Listen, man. You see my name, Eth Sweat, man. Like that's my new. I'm sticking with that alias, man. Don is checking in from Carolina. Don, man. Appreciate all your support, good brother. We saw that hoodie. The hoodie was fire.
Yeah, super fire.
Another check in. Another check in. Make sure I'm saying your name right. I don't want to say your name wrong.
It
Is
looks
it?
like
Is it?
Cantis
Well, I was about
Can
to ask you. Is it Cantasia, or Cantesia? I just want to make sure I'm saying it right, because you definitely support, and we want to say thank you because we appreciate all the support, man. You know what I'm saying? And Don talks about his index funds. I saw him talk about that on the timeline, man. How important index funds is, man. Bro, you changing the community on the. I appreciate that, man. That's the objective, man. Because all these transfers of wealth, and you want to make sure that we involved in all of them, man. That's why it's easy to support what y'all doing. Don, I appreciate you, bro. Like Don definitely supports me. I saw Don with the hoodie, and he got the Black Wealth is Black Power hoodie. You know what I'm saying? So yo, by the way, I just want to show this real quick. This is the newest hoodie, right? We talk about cryptocurrency and metals. So this is the new hoodie right here. It got a Bitcoin, it got a gold eagle, Ethereum on it. You know what I'm saying? So we creating people, we're getting people in the space of buying crypto and metals. That's our new goal, man. And shout out to Carrie, man. Carrie's here, man. Carrie is my partner in the real estate game.
Yo,
And Carrie's like holding it down, man. Cause listen, man, Carrie got a skill set, dog, that I just don't have, man. Like, yo, salute to Carrie, man. Cause
he be doing it
yo,
extra big, huh?
but that's why we partners, man. Like, I can find deals and do paperwork, but I can't. Listen, man. I'm I'm terrible in the crib. I could do a light bulb. That's about it, though. Nairobi checking in from Baltimore.
Hey, what's
Nairobi, how
going
are you,
on?
Nairobi?
Nairobi.
Nairobi, when you coming on our show, man, I want to talk about the rehabs you did in Baltimore, because Nairobi, for those who may not see her on social media, man, Mecca underscore made, she did an amazing rehab on two big brownstones in
Fire.
Baltimore. That's just amazing, man. I want to get you on our show, Robe. So I'm gonna shoot you an inbox when this is over, man, because Nairobi's family. So and I want to talk about that journey that she took, because I know that it was stressful, but she got to the finish line. So what's up, Robe? Rich, man. Yo, man, Rich, I just gave you a shout out before you chimed in, Rich, man.
Rich
Rich,
forever.
Rich put me on some bread, man. Like, and that's the thing about building a community. The thing about building a community is people teach each other, man. So and salute to Rich. Rich's wife actually just became a member of Body Hood University. So salute to her as well. Um,
Salute.
Nairobi said, wait, listen, I'm gonna inbox you soon as we done here. I'm going to
Yeah,
inbox you, because
it
we
happens
definitely gotta
right
talk
away.
about that. That's gonna happen right away. Um, but yeah, so this past week, a lot of things happened in the world of business. The first thing I want to start with is this, though. PayPal and Bitcoin. I know you saw the news. Did you go
Yeah.
check it out at all?
No, I mean I've been on PayPal since it happened. I just didn't check that part out because I'm on the federal database on the other John. So I'm on Coinbase. So I was buying Bitcoin. I took my Bitcoin off of Square
Mhm.
also because I put that Bitcoin on my ledger.
Okay.
Um so and I actually took my Bitcoin off the federal database too. All I got on there is my weekly buy from of Ether until I take that off of there too. So I just bought two new ledgers
Okay.
um just to get all my shit off of the federal database.
I
Um
I'll put it this way, right? So when a new, like, so I remember when Cash App first got Bitcoin, I tried it. It's actually probably the easiest one.
It is.
Um, it's very, very simple. But I said, so all right, PayPal got it. Let me go check this. I went on my PayPal account, made a small purchase. I just want to see how it worked, like $25. I was like, oh, this is dope. And then I looked, I was like, all right, let me send this to my Ledger, or actually I was getting ready to send it to Celsius. I was like, let me send this over here. Can't do it. I said, hold up. So then I start reading, because like you know how we are. We don't read first. We take action, then read later. But I start reading. It's not a wallet. You can just buy and then sell right back to them. I'm like, this is really no
Same thing with
different.
Square.
Well, it's
Until
no
well, Square just
yeah,
upgraded.
Square has a wallet though now. Square does have a wallet now.
Yeah, Square upgraded because
But
before when you first started, you couldn't do it.
yeah, Robinhood is like that, right? So with Robinhood had crypto for a couple of years now, but it's no wallet. You don't have no keys. You're just, and actually on Robinhood, you don't even own the crypto. You're buying the right to have the crypto. I'm like, this is weird. This is trash. So for those out there asking, my personal opinion, and again, this is not investment advice. This is just for entertainment and education purposes only. I bought Bitcoin and Ethereum. I bought both of them on PayPal. I'll never do it again. It's trash until they upgrade it, right? So anyone who knows crypto knows that if it's not your keys, it's not your crypto, and you definitely don't have the keys. You don't even have a wallet on there. You don't have anything. But the ability to buy it and just hold it and then sell it right back to them. So if that's your objective, you just want to flip, I guess it's okay. But you can't do all the other things that you can do with crypto. So, but I think on the news though, Bitcoin is still running in terms of the valuation of Bitcoin. So anytime Bitcoin goes through this, you see that the hype gets around and the hype's going to push it up further. But then you start also hearing the stories and seeing the screenshots of people who sold out, which has been interesting to watch as well. You see some of those old stories creeping back up, and also new stories of people that sold at 3,000, not knowing what's going to happen. But anybody out there watching, if anybody, what's your favorite platform to buy cryptocurrency if you actually buy cryptocurrency? Another question I got for the folks watching: if you buy stock, what's your favorite platform to buy stock on? And I just want to know because one of the questions that we get asked a lot is where to go, right? And I try to stress to people, just get in the game. I don't care where you start, just to get your feet wet. Because once you get your feet wet and you realize what kind of investor you want to be, then you know which platform is better for you. But I want to see what people like in terms of a platform. What's your preferred platform, Core?
For what? For which one?
For both, for crypto and stocks.
So for stocks, I mess with TD Ameritrade. I got multiple TD Ameritrade accounts. For my personal stock, that's my favorite. For my kids' stock that I like to buy, I like Stockpile just because they can get gift cards and you could just, take the gift cards and turn them into stock. So for my kids' stock, I use Stockpile. But I'm about to put their investments into an investment vehicle. So I'm gonna have to take it off of Stockpile. I'm gonna leave the Stockpile open and then, use the Stockpile cards, put it on there and then cash them out and then put them into their other investment vehicle. Because I think I'm gonna get them a IRA.
Well, they gotta have, in order for them to qualify for one though, they have to have like, a certain level of income. Like you can't just get an
CJ
IRA.
has, my oldest son has income. They both do because
Okay.
they've been flipping sneakers. They have a website where they flip sneakers. So they already in business. And they just got a storefront in Dallas. A lady let them use their, so that they don't really use that though, because the Rona going crazy. So I told them they can't use that, John. And the only reason it's
Okay.
available because of the Rona. But they
Okay.
be we be getting the sneaks, damn near free and flipping them Jones for way less than most people flip them for. So they get quick turnover in a couple quick dollars. So they both have
Yeah.
income. My older two sons. They just they'll be on social media all day. So I told them to make some money off of it. So
Listen,
that's what they
that's the
want
way
to
you
do.
do it. Fatima chimes in with a question. Hi, everybody. Any advice about a Roth IRA? Um, it's a powerful vehicle, right? It's a powerful vehicle, but make sure that you check your limits in terms of how much money you can make, because once you get to a certain level of income, I believe it's like $120 something thousand, you can't contribute to a Roth IRA. And also depends upon how you file too. If you file married, there's also different limits for married versus non-married, but it's very powerful. Now you can also, if you want to get very technical, do a backdoor Roth, which involves getting a traditional. It's a ninja hack. And Fatima, if you shoot an inbox, I could shoot you some information about it. But there's a way to get your money into a Roth even if you don't qualify. And again, this is not investment advice. I'm just saying what's possible. And that's one of the secrets of personal finance is understanding the different rules of the game, because
We're taking
other
advantage of.
listen, other folks out here, that's what they doing, man. It's an amazing story, right?
Oh
When Mitt
man,
Romney was running for president, against Barack Hussein Obama, and he had to like disclose his money. My man had like 100 mil in an IRA, and that's the most I've ever seen it. Like it's almost impossible to do that, because think about IRA limits. IRA limits are like, I
six
think this past year was what, 60,
six grand.
6,500, 6 grand, something like
Yeah,
that, around there.
yeah,
But
something real dumb low.
he understand how to make that paperwork. So my point is, there's ways around everything. But Fatima, my one suggestion to you would be, you can hit us
Check
up, and I can
professional.
also, I could put you in touch with someone that could set you up. But the reason I say that is because there's no one size fits all approach to personal finance, and even with IRAs, because the IRA is a powerful vehicle if used right, but it might not be, what's right for you. So Don looked it up. The Roth limit's 139K. 203 if you're married. So I don't know what your income is, but also like, do you have any sort of deferred compensation at work, a 401k, a 403b, a 457? Depending upon your situation, that might be the better vehicle. Because that your money grows tax deferred with those accounts, and it also can lower your income now, which could change your tax. So it's all sorts of things that you have to like put in play when you decide which vehicle is best for you. But if I had to just give you my opinion on a Roth IRA, it is a powerful vehicle. Um, Don talks about his money. He said most of his money is in Vanguard, but M1 Finance is great for buy and hold, and that's the who he points people to. Most of my bread is also with Vanguard. Vanguard is the biggest brokerage I have, but I do also use TD. I use all of them honestly to test them out to be able to answer questions. But if I had to give my favorite, and I guess my favorite kind of changes depending upon why you're asking. And one of the reasons I love Vanguard is because of their customer service. Right? You start investing money with people, you want to be able to get somebody on the phone. Like good luck trying to get somebody from Robinhood on the phone, right? So
At all.
um in M1, right? M1, they've gotten bigger because I've been using M1 for years. And M1, when I first started using them, I would call them and get someone on the phone, but that's difficult now. But even when I called it back then, it's like, yo, it sounded like somebody was answering from their apartment. Like, I'm like, yo, like, what's
You're
going on?
you're
But M1 is a powerful platform with the ability to build pies and look at other people's pies. I like what they did with that. Um, so she says that her Roth IRA is on Fidelity, investment in options on TD Ameritrade, and she trades the futures market on Ninja Trader. Also, you just
nice.
out here trading the futures markets too. You out here getting that bread. Like
Yeah,
I heard that. Can I borrow $1 or something? But
yeah. Dollar, no, $1.15. I need tax on that. I need a dollar
but
with, so I can help pay tax.
Fatima, thank you for that question though, because another thing that I did this week that I didn't bring up is, so my wife and I made an investment in uh a company that's not even on the market yet, right? So anyone who's taken our course, intro and analysis course, one of the things that we give you in there is how to buy pre-IPO courses. We show you how to get in the game with that. And we came across this company this week that they make reusable like cups, right? It's called a Stojo. I should have brought it up here, but it's like it folds and then you can open it up. So it's like instead of we're moving into the world where we trying to like cut back on our carbon footprint and things of that nature. So you don't want to use styrofoam cups and stuff like that. Um, but this Stojo, they make these cups that you can literally fold like this, and then it opens up and it's like a solid cup. It's crazy that how it works. But we put a couple dollars in there pre-IPO, pre anything, because it might not ever IPO. It might get bought. Who knows what'll happen with it long term? Because those are riskier than buying something that's on the market. But we did make that. My point of bringing that up is I thought about that with Fatima's question, because something that I'm thinking about trying this year. So I'm thinking about trying to do a self-directed. I came across this company. And I can't vouch for them because I just came across them myself. It's called Rocket Dollar, and Rocket Dollar allows you to have self-directed IRAs, and their fees are very, very reasonable. And when you open up your IRA that way, whether it's traditional or Roth, however you want to do it, that gives you the ability to buy real estate, to buy precious metals, to buy cryptocurrency, to invest in a small business. So if someone was in our comments at a small business, we can invest in a small business within the IRA. That's how you start playing those games to supercharge your IRA. So it's something that I'm like thinking about trying, if nothing else, just to learn from it, right? So let's see. A couple more comments here. Fidelity. So a lot of people like Fidelity out here. DoorDash is going to IPO.
Yeah, it's going. Yeah, I saw that in the news this week.
Yeah. Want something better for the future.
I mean,
All right, so let
Fidelity
me
is
ask you a question.
all of the big boys. All of the big boys have similar stuff. Uh, the difference in what Jim was talking about, he loves the customer service at Vanguard, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with that, right?
TD is good too,
I
though.
I
If I
no
had to
no I,
rank,
that's what I'm saying. I
yeah.
love the customer service at TD, even though once they merged with Schwab, it got wonky, right? Like the lines got long because like this week I had an issue with them. Like on Monday during the open, I tried to sell my stock. I couldn't even get in my account till 12 o'clock at noon.
That was
Now
on
I don't.
every platform.
Yeah, but my thing is, I wasn't even trying to because I already, I only do cover calls and cash secure puts, so I don't really care about having to get in ass crack 30 in the morning because I'm only making one trade a week, so it don't matter. You know what I mean? One or two trades a week. My trading week is 45 seconds to a minute because I already know what I'm gonna
No, I
do. I
got you.
already know what I'm gonna buy. Click the buttons, trade. But I couldn't even do that on Monday. I didn't do my stuff till Tuesday.
I just saw people complaining about E-Trade, um, the usual Robinhood, TD, like because it
But
was
it took them
so much
45 minutes to
volume.
answer my phone call. The point that I was trying to make is normally I make a phone call
Hmm.
5 minutes maxed out that I'll wait. It took them 45 minutes to answer my phone call. Now I didn't know that it was, system wide and but they didn't get a chance to tell me till 45 minutes later why they
No,
couldn't
you're not.
open
You're not
my.
the first person to say that. Spoon, who we had on here plenty of times, has said that since the merger, the customer service is a little different, and maybe they're trying to figure things out. Who knows? But I know in the past, I respected their customer service because I use them, and they would sit on the phone with you and walk you through things. And I'm like,
They still do. They'll walk you through
yeah,
every single thing. Shit, they'll fucking do your trades for you. They'll
mm-hmm,
say what you want to trade, and then they'll do the trades for you. So if you use TD, they'll literally put the trades in there for you. If you
yeah.
don't, if you're a novice and don't know what you're doing all the way, they'll tell you. They'll walk you through. Just tell them exactly what you want to do. Like if you wanted to try iron butterflies and you don't know how to do them, they'd actually walk you through. The trade and put it in and put it through for you if you wanted to do that.
So I didn't know this, right? I don't use Fidelity. I think she's talking about Fidelity, which said you can buy fractional shares. Fidelity let you buy fractional shares?
Yeah, they just started that. They
Okay,
just
that's
started it.
dope. That's dope. That's dope. That honestly happened with okay. And she said it happens pretty often too. Man, so maybe their customer service is going the wrong way. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like. I didn't know
that's
Fidelity
bad
let you buy
business.
fractional.
Well, they just started because I got a
Yeah.
couple of friends that got Fidelity, and they were telling me that now they can buy fractional, and it just wasn't. And in a couple of the groups, they were like rejoicing. They had a damn near dance party in the groups I was in because Fidelity started letting them buy fractional.
So Annette checks in and says she has a void deferred comp account. They said that she can open up a self-directed brokerage account, but won't be able to trade options. Any advice? There's a lot of deferred comp accounts that won't let you do that. They only let you do buy and hold, and they only do buy and hold of a specific amount of funds. Sounds like with your self-directed, you might be able to even get into more than just whatever they generally have available. If you really want to get in the options game, I would say open up a TD account. just take it somewhere else. Unless you're hell bent on having your deferred comp be what you trade. Because one thing I will say is if you have access to a deferred comp account, use it as much as you can. Stash as much as you can in there on a long term tip. And anything else you could trade, go trade elsewhere.
Yeah.
That will be my advice in terms of that though. Let me see. So just looking at some of these comments up here. But that's sad that the TD is going that way in terms of their customer service, because my experience, like I said in the past, they've been amazing. But I
They're
don't like
still
the people to
good.
get caught up in the brokerage though, because I see that a lot. Like, and I see people having like online fights about, no, you got to do this, and it's always the anti Robinhood sentiment, and I get why, because the folks that use Robinhood and a lot of the younger folks who've never been traders that got on Robinhood, they've literally affected the market, right?
Yeah, they stacked up heavy, and they stacked up dumb heavy. Listen, they bringing in money. They using those college refund checks that we used to use to buy fancy jewelry and cars. They dumping that shit in the market and swerving the market around. They don't like that
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
They
It's
don't
like
like that at
a
all.
thing where they be like, well, the Robinhood traders, like, first of all, some of y'all running too far with that. Y'all blame Robinhood traders for everything because you made a dumb trade. You want to blame the Robinhood traders. It ain't the Robinhood traders for everything. But I do see that they've had an effect on the market. You know what I'm saying? They've had an effect on the market. And one of the things I want to talk about while we're on here too is like the current state of the market overall. So I know that on Monday everything was rolling because the screenshots came back to the timeline. They had disappeared for a minute, but they came back.
Yeah, they
So
they
I was like,
disappeared in
okay,
September and October. All those screenshots,
yeah,
they was gone.
yeah.
But
So the screenshots came back. So the market was rolling, and a lot of it we were saying is because of the post-election, also the news about the vaccine, which was interesting too because Honcho dumping his stuff. As y'all was pushing the market up, he was dumping his shares. But here's my question, right? You get a little bit of news about a vaccine or about things opening up. Are we like? Here's one thing I want to put out there. One of the biggest hedge funds. What's the guy's name that made that big bet against
the
I
boy,
can't
the
think of it.
$27 million bet, and
Yeah, but
now
he got it's a documentary on him where he's like
my
going
man
against
said,
Herbalife.
my man, oh, the bet to zero, boy, the
Bet
bet
to
on
zero.
zero,
Yeah, he's the same
bet
guy,
on
but he
zero,
just
yeah.
he made a great point though. He says like any news is so emotional that it pumps the whole market up.
My
But when you
man put
look
a
day to day,
nasty bet on the downside.
he bet on the downside. He said because at the end of the day, like you look at the cases and it's picking back up. People are closing back up. You get one sort of piece of news and everybody's running the other way. So should we be looking for another downside? What's your opinion on that?
Um, I think he's kind of right. I don't see nothing happening. Him and Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell is actually the president of this country, just for the record. And Jerome Powell said basically, I don't know, y'all running too fast. Y'all just slow the hell up. These vaccines and stuff ain't gonna be ready until the spring. And
Mm-hmm.
so he's like, we still need that stimulus money out here because these businesses about to go, they about to go shit. Those services businesses about to get closed down again because those Rona cases, it's flu season. So everybody, what's the name? The immune system compromised. It's cold out here. You know what I mean? Like it's about to be a mess. This is the season where most people get sick anyway. And now you talking about we got a pandemic, a virus out here that preys on people who have already pre-existing conditions and a weakened immune system, and it's about to get funky out here again. So
Yeah. So
you really gotta.
I was thinking about that. That's one of the reasons why I took that long leap
Oh,
on
and we
SLV.
just had an election where you just dumped 100 million people into small spaces and had them touching on stuff all together, and then they had parties afterwards because they candidate won. Like it's about to get dumb out here. Like the case is about to go through the roof, and you can blame whoever you want for those cases being the way they are, but as as an investor, I'm looking like my man Bill Ackerman. Don put it
Yeah,
in
I
the
see Don.
chat.
Yeah, Don put in the chat.
I'm
That
I'm
is
I'm
what you're
thinking
talking
like my
about, Bill
man
Ackman.
Don Ackerman. It's about to
Don Ackman.
they
It's
say
Bill
it's gonna
Ackman.
get worse before it get better. Bill Ackman. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's gonna get way worse before it gets a lot better. So,
Yeah.
enjoy it while we can, I guess. You know what I mean? Because it's about to get dumb out here.
And for those who don't know what we're talking about, you can look up Bill Ackerman because that is his name. I remember Bill Ackerman because maybe about 5 years ago he was on the cover of Forbes and it was like the next Buffett. But my man is like he's a little different. He doesn't care about his image in terms of the way because I mean Buffett is a shark, but he likes to play that old nice grandpa John, like to use it to his advantage.
Oh,
Bill
Bill
Ackerman is
Ackman,
like
he ain't about that life at all. He
he's a
don't care about
gangster.
none of that.
Like there's a documentary about him. It's called what's it say? It's called Bet the Zero, Bet on Zero.
Yeah, yeah, where he bet on Herbalife going to zero.
Yeah, he bet on
Something
Herbalife
bet on
going to zero.
zero
He
or
called it
something like that.
Yeah, he called it a pyramid scheme, and he just bet millions and millions of dollars that is going to eventually fail. But he has several bets that way, and a lot of them have come true. But his newest bet is he's going against our overall economy and market because he thinks that the emotions are just too high and things are overvalued. I wonder what you guys think out there. Do you think that the market's too high right now? Is it overvalued? And Jose had a comment for Net in here. He says you won't be able to trade options at all, but you can use your Voya self-directed account to purchase shares of good companies. It's always a
That's
good thing.
cool.
And he also says Jerome Powell just want to keep printing, man. Listen, Jerome Powell is interesting to me because I mean the Fed that's what they do. They print bread, right? They
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 control
print
the money
bread.
supply. They literally
But
control the money supply.
Ackerman is I mean not Ackerman. Jerome Powell is different because he's like in your face with it. Like, yeah, I do. We print money. We make it out of thin air. Like he says stuff and I'm like, I don't remember the Fed ever being this like open and blunt about it before. Like usually it was something that a lot of people didn't know and it
The
was done behind
internet,
closed
listen,
doors.
man, the internet shined a light on these roaches, and they instead of running, they standing there with a bazooka. You know what I mean? You know how you shine a light on a roach, you normally run. But they like, look, man, this is what we do. What you gonna do to stop it? What you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Like literally. So if either you play they on they on some Southwest Philly thing, get down or lay down. Get down or lay down. So
Mhm.
this is what we do. What you want to do to stop it? And the answer is absolutely not a damn thing. Get into
Yeah,
crypto.
man.
That's what you can do. Get your ass over into
So
the crypto space.
so Jose says that New York just had a law review done to ensure COVID vaccination can be mandated under the vaccination protocol already in place in New York State. That sounds scary.
Yeah, the
Let's
market is
see.
absolutely overvalued.
Dahlia says it's absolutely overvalued. So Dahlia, let me ask you a question. What are you doing? Are you moving the cash? Are you going to like store more cash? What like so for those who think the market's overvalued, what is your strategy? That's what I'm interested to see what people's strategy is. Personally, I'm trying to build up some cash. And that's why I start messing, with the crypto and the metals a little bit, move a little bit closer to that as opposed to just being in the market. But I think building cash to me is a good strategy because there's also going to be some buys out there when stuff hits the fan,
Yeah,
right? So we had a meeting like last week with our investment group, and that was one of the things we decided to do. Let's just build our cash position. Um, so when this stuff really gets serious, you know what I'm saying? So Dahlia said she's holding off, which is, to me, that sounds like the play right there. That's the play.
yeah,
But it's going to be opportunities. It's definitely going to be opportunities. It's going to be a lot of all right, so Jose also says it's overvalued as well. I've been looking into buying corporate bonds, eyeing Apple, Microsoft, and Koyo. Interesting.
yeah.
I was reading an article.
I'm,
I was
I always been leery of Apple, right? Because of because of how like everything has to be an Apple product for it to work in Apple. And I don't like companies like that. They're boom or bust for me. You
yeah,
know what I
but
mean?
that's they have a tremendous moat, right? So you always hating on Apple for one. That's because you don't like being locked in their ecosystem. But the thing
I
is, for
don't.
those that use their products, right? So, and I'm not an Apple fanboy either, right? So I got the newest Galaxy Note here, and I also got an iPhone, right? So I use both. So I'm not one of these guys who is Apple fanboy, but I understand why because
No, I
Apple.
get it. I understand why they did it, and it's been a beautiful business model for them. But when mentioning the best companies, like
But how it's not going to go bust, and they compete on so many levels. Apple TV.
No, I mean
Listen,
they get to compete on so many levels because they got so much money now. So now they get to expand and shift their business and compete on a lot of different levels. I'm not saying they're ever going to go bust. I'm just I just don't like that idea of them as one of the better companies. Like I just think uh, they're they remind me of. I think they're just a little bit overrated. I'm not saying that they're not a great company. I
listen,
just think they're a
listen.
little bit overrated.
We gotta disagree with that. I'm gonna tell you why, right? And forget the products and all that. They have something that is hard for money to buy, and that's their brand, right? Their
No,
brand
for
has so
sure.
much value. I've literally heard people say, like, looking at a different phone or a different computer or different everything, like, yo, this is better, but it doesn't have that logo on it. Like someone actually told, like, multiple people, like, yo, that logo, I need that logo. That you their branding is next level. Like you can't
Man,
argue with
listen, I
like
get it because I
so
get caught in branding too. Like I wear Nikes. I wear Nikes because of the branding. I do, certain products. You know what I
so it's
mean?
the same thing though. I would compare
It
that's like,
is.
I mean, it's
It
the
is.
same thing, but they
It's
have
sort
that
of
in
the
tech.
same thing.
They have that in tech, and you did that, like people that use Apple are loyal. Like you're not gonna listen, man.
I
My
don't
brother.
disagree with that. I just
So
think they're
and
a
also their
little
management
bit
too. They're
overrated. A little
I
bit.
don't see how
A
though. I don't
smidgen.
see how.
A smidgen.
I just don't
I
see
think they're a
how. I just
smidge
don't.
overrated.
I don't see how. So couple more
Eh,
comments. Dahlia says that she
she
likes
likes
IPOs and
IPOs.
crypto right now,
Hey, listen, I ain't mad at
and
that. Microsoft. I think Microsoft is
Apple
the
straight.
best run company. I think Microsoft is a better run company than Microsoft. I mean, than Apple. And
I
I don't
mean,
think it's close.
whoa, come on, man, you out of pocket right now,
I
dog.
don't think
Like
it's close. I
Apple
just
makes
don't
so
think it's
listen.
close.
Apple has a Fortune 500 company just with earbuds, my guy. Like
Man,
literally,
listen, you act like Microsoft don't have that same kind
I'm
of
not
thing.
saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying about Microsoft is Microsoft actually is just getting their footing back because their brand and their business was struggling for a while under my man
It
who owned the
was.
Clippers.
So was Apple's. And then the bull Jobs came back and rescued the shit out of him. So
But hold
listen,
up though,
I get it.
you calling Apple great is kind of crazy, man. For those out there watching, man, tell Corey he's crazy for talking about Apple like that. But hold up, real quick, let me just comment back at it, PA. As long as low interest rates are here, I continue to rise. I do think there will be a pullback in December from smart money taking profits this year. There is going to be some
Smart
of
money
that.
took profits
I wonder how to.
in September. That's why September and October are generally the worst 2 months in the stock market because smart money always take their money, and then also companies' fiscal years end in September and October. A lot of companies' fiscal years end around that time.
Mhm.
So
Dwayne
that's
Apple
normally when they really
footprint.
take their money. Apple's worth more. It doesn't mean that it's. I mean, listen,
He says
it's
the
well
footprint is
run. It's
unstoppable.
well run,
Hold up.
Shannon. Wait, I'm listening. To
Security
protect
concerns. They keep
themselves.
everything done in house to protect themselves. You can't. I mean, that's true.
Yeah, I can't argue
Don
with
said
that.
this strategy will be dollar cost average into the market and have a large cash reserve. So that's his
That's also a
strategy.
smart. That's also a smart strategy. 200 billion. Listen,
Yeah.
you won't get me to argue with any of these points. But the only company on the market with a AAA credit score is Microsoft and Johnson and Johnson. So you can
Mm.
we can argue back and forth about what makes the company better run. Microsoft has a better credit score than the United States government.
But listen though, Apple has. I'm telling you, their competitive advantage is Apple has the ability at a drop of a dime. Right. This is something that Coca-Cola can do, which makes Coca-Cola, like, to me, an amazing company. Right. Coca-Cola can wake up one day and add a penny on to every ounce of their drink, and most people won't even notice it, but they'll generate $1 billion, like billions of dollars, just
Yep,
by
for
doing that,
sure.
right? You
Absolutely
can't.
true.
Apple has the ability. Apple could drop like Apple plastic tomorrow. Guess what's going to happen if they put out Apple plastic with the Apple logo on it?
People gonna buy it because of the logo.
They got a they literally have a money printer. Like Apple has a money printer because of their branding. Daya says she's
So
29,
does
so
Microsoft.
buy
So does
low.
Microsoft.
Nah. And with what? They have no product. Nobody cares about their product.
Yes, they
Most of the
do.
stuff Microsoft owns, most people don't know. Like the Surface kind of like saved their hardware line. Their hardware is trash. Remember Microsoft used to make phones? Fail. They made the
Yeah, yeah.
Zoom.
No,
That was
that
a
was garbage.
fail.
That
The
was
Zoom was a
garbage.
fail. Like, and they just released the Surface phone. Fail. Like their hardware game is absolute trash. But I want to make a comment about Daya's points. 29 take a initial investment when it's high dollar cost average. First of all, Daya, salute to you for being 29 and being on the ball in terms of investing at all. So like,
Nice.
congratulations on that. And keep at it. That's from here. I want to talk to Daya in 10 years when Daya is worth like, a couple hundred mil.
You can
Apple has a
invest with us.
powerful but
Come
once that
invest
suit
with us.
it's a crack in the whole suit will fall apart. Don, I don't know about that, man. It's gonna take a long time for Apple to fall apart if you guys are like trying to listen, man. Outside of that, here's what I'm talking about. They actually like we talk about even our show. We call it a podcast. That's an Apple thing, right? Podcast. They really call it webcast. Apple's branding is so crazy because of the
So they
iPod.
changed it
People
to
start calling them
podcast.
podcasts,
Yeah.
right? So you talk about they have iTunes. They're printing money in so many different ways. Beats.
No, listen, I'm
It's
not
crazy.
again. You making it sound like I say Apple was a bad
No, I'm
company.
not saying no.
It's not a
I mean,
bad
you called
company.
them overrated.
They
Dog.
are overrated. They are overrated, man. They overrated, man. They overrated.
You wilding
I
right
feel
now.
like they the Dallas Cowboys, man. They print money, but they not good, man. They irk the shit out of them. They like that. They
You
like
hear
the
what Jose
Dallas
just said?
Cowboys.
People Jose
What?
just said right here, man. When he first started doing graphic design freelance, a client did that to me and his partner. He was on a PC and he was on a Mac. They wanted to talk to him because of his Mac. Literally, like that's nuts.
Eh, okay, Apple's worth more. What we fucking do? You act like
Hey, listen,
Microsoft not a
that
trillion
matters, bro.
dollar
You act
company.
like that don't matter.
You act like Microsoft not a
Listen,
trillion
man.
dollar company though. Like it's not
It's
right
not.
on
Hey,
their
listen.
heels.
No. See, the same way you talk about people get that you. No one's slandering Microsoft, but Microsoft ain't Apple, dog. Apple has a cool
Microsoft is
factor that
better.
Microsoft don't have.
I think Microsoft is the best run company. So people will say Apple, and then some people will say some other company. I don't think either one of them is the very best run company in the world. I think Procter and Gamble is actually the number one best run company in the world because they got more billion-dollar brands than anybody. And then
So Don makes a point that Microsoft is backed by the U.S. government. The whole military has to use it. So in doing business with a lot of like different jurisdictions, a lot of state, federal, and city agencies are also locked into using Microsoft, right? But it's also because Microsoft had those contracts going back years and years.
yeah, they did.
That's kind of what saved Microsoft when they was throwing all that garbage at the window and none of it worked. Is the fact that they have that because I mean the same when we talk about iPods and all that, people talk about Excel and Word docs and things like that the same way, which is Microsoft's product. So, but Apple has a certain cool factor
No,
that
it
they
does.
just don't have.
That Microsoft can't match it.
You can't
Apple
like
has a cool factor that Microsoft cannot match. So I will not argue that point with you at all.
Apple has a triple A rating on their bonds as well.
It's not the same, man.
Apple Services
Microsoft
is a Fortune 500 company. That to me is the illest part about Apple. The reason they're worth so much is because under that one roof, they have multiple companies that will be like if you say like Fortune
you
1000 company, right?
again, y'all saying this like Microsoft don't have the same thing.
But we're not even talking. We're talking Apple, man. Stop making this Apple versus Microsoft. We're just talking
Because
about how powerful Apple
because
is. You
you're
keep bringing
right.
up Microsoft. Stop bringing up Microsoft. You the
All right,
one. No one said Microsoft is overrated. You said Apple was overrated.
it is. It is. It's overrated. It's overrated, man. I'm not going to say it's not like you should. You should definitely have it
Yo,
in your what's the name. And this is not
shout out to
investment
Rich,
advice,
man. Rich
but
said, I'm glad I'm too poor to fell in love with Apple, man. Hey,
good
man, you
job,
listen,
Rich.
you can
Good
stretch
job,
anything out
man.
these days, man. I know some broke folks who got brand new iPhones, man. They paying $30 a
Yeah,
month, but
man.
they got brand new iPhones, man. You can get an iPhone, man. iPhone don't mean what it used to, but it still has that cachet with it.
It
Microsoft is
does.
way more software based. It definitely is because Microsoft, like, you can use them on a lot. I mean, you can use Microsoft on Apple products. Eventually people won't want to be a part of the ecosystem. I can't see that though. Why
Nah,
not?
their branding is heavy.
No, but
They
outside of their brand, the thing about it is because they keep everything in house, everything runs a lot smoother. And again, this is coming from someone who uses multiple platforms. I use Windows, I use Android, I use Apple. Apple works a certain way. Like I think that if I took the best, say we talking about a smartphone, I took the top of the line Samsung phone, the very top of the line Samsung phone, the top of the line iPhone. I probably could do more in the Samsung phone. Could be completely honest with you, but it's not going to run as smooth as an Apple phone because I'm using like software from all these different places. With Apple, if I'm using their product, like it's a better user experience. To me personally,
You sound like a
and
Robinhood trader. I'm just
no,
messing with you. I'm just messing with
also when it
you.
comes to computers, right? Where's my MacBook at? Because I listen, like I said, I use everything. I got a MacBook right here. I'm actually on a Windows machine right here, but I got a MacBook right here and I got a Chromebook right here. So like I'm somebody who uses all these platforms. Nothing competes with a MacBook. The MacBook is the absolute best machine there is in terms of like laptops, right? Nothing competes with it. I'll be honest with you, like when it comes to that. So, um, but Keenan was right though about the software. Let's see.
Kenan. His name is
My
Kenan, not
portfolio.
Keenan.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies, Kenan. My apologies, sir. Dwayne, his portfolio says Apple the last 10 years. You've been eating them, man.
Yeah,
You've been eating, man.
yeah. If you had Apple over the last 10, you ate like a fat rat.
Hey, it's the right answer there for T. But look, I don't like Apple, but I still buy their
Hey,
shares.
listen, so do I. And same thing. Again,
Oh,
I'm,
ho. More,
that's
you
right.
got people co-signing your madness. You can't be co-signing his madness. Apple is
I
definitely overrated.
appreciate you, Cedrica. I appreciate you. And that is the truth right there. See, the absolute truth just came out.
All
iPhone
right,
is
so
overrated as
again,
fuck.
I just said that I agree with you that as a phone it might be, but I understand the allure of it. I get it. I get like because it just works, and it's hard to explain like that concept. It just works. You open it up out the box, you know what you're going to get because like until iOS 14 they were like pretty much the same thing, but it just works. And she brought up another point I want to show in a second. Will Apple drop again in price? It's a good question. Apple has a fire marketing strategy.
Yeah,
And
they
that's
do.
something that has to be mentioned. They probably have one of the best marketing teams. Like their marketing is, I even fall for their marketing. All across Philadelphia, when I'm riding in Center City, they got these like billboards, right? And the billboard is nothing but like a regular like black and white photo taken from someone with an iPhone. Some of them black and white, some of them are color, but they're amazing photography. And it doesn't even
Yeah.
say anything, doesn't say buy this. It just says shot on the iPhone. But I find myself like, yo, that's fire because they use the best photos. Like their marketing is crazy.
Them in Google, them in Alphabet. Google they got crazy fire marketing too. Just for the
I don't know if
record.
they're messing with Apple. To me, the two best companies in terms of marketing are Nike and Apple. Because Nike and
No,
Apple make
listen.
you
Nike, hands down has the best marketing because they don't even. They're not. I don't even know how to say it. Their marketing is just fire.
yeah, to me, Apple
Time
and
to
Nike are
buy
it.
and hold.
That's right. That's absolutely true. It's the
Just
illusion of inclusion concept.
because
They
of
mastered.
YouTube, I put Google in there. Yeah, they make you feel warm and fuzzy inside,
Listen,
and
man,
they give you the
YouTube went
warm
down the
fuzzies.
day before. YouTube went down the day before yesterday, and I started having like a panic attack. Like YouTube is life for me. I spend so much time on YouTube. Like, yo, I don't really watch TV. And it's, you know what's crazy about this? It's
Yo,
crazy about this, right? I was talking to some younger members of my family the other day, right? I was talking to some younger members of my family the other day, and we were talking about something, and like the term celebrity came up. These like real young kids. I was messing with them, like, well, who's your celebrity crush, right? And just messing
he
with like
started
the younger
mentioning
generation.
some YouTube chick. I
Yo,
guarantee you,
one of my
because
little nieces was like such and
my
such.
sons
Who's
watched
the
that stuff.
Listen, hold up though. Such and such. I said, celebrity. I never heard of them. Oh, they're a Minecrafter. A Minecrafter. That's a thing. And then
Yep.
like somebody else mentioned a YouTuber. I was like, oh, so these are the new celebrities now. But I thought it was just me. Like I know
Yeah,
YouTubers like
man.
that. I mean, I
My
can't tell
sons
you some
use
Hollywood
YouTube and
actors, man.
Twitch. YouTube and Twitch. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't like ask my sons what happened on the news, and only reason they know is because they during the school day I make them check out the news or whatever is going on in the world. But if I didn't make them do that, like any day I don't make them do that, they don't do it. They don't
YouTube is
care.
where it's at, man.
YouTube and Twitch, man.
We got a
That's what they
couple great
live on.
comments. We got a couple great
Okay.
comments. I want to highlight this. Dwayne says, when you've plunged thousands into their services, where are you going to go? And that's the catch. So one of my closest friends, Dr. Akil Bayan, right? He's a tech guy. So me and him grew up together, and all we do is talk tech when we talk. And he got a job working overseas. He's working in Seoul, Korea now. And when he got over there, part of his job, they gave him all like iPhone stuff, MacBooks, and all that kind of stuff. So he got into their ecosystem. Once he got caught into their ecosystem for work, all of a sudden, all his other gadgets that he had personally, they all turned into iPhones. And I was like, dog, that ain't you. You're not an iPhone. Do you like to tinker? Because, when you get Android, you could tinker and build stuff. He was like, once you get trapped in there, dog, you can't get out. Like, you can't get out. And then at that point, when you start to like spend money on, cases or earbuds within iTunes, right? You got Apple TV, you got all these things. You're so sticky. How do you get out of that? And this is another
You
excellent
don't
point.
get caught. That's how you get out.
You and
You
Don
don't
say,
get
look,
caught.
I'm not even crossing over. Y'all not even trying it.
Yeah,
Justin has an
don't.
amazing point that I want to read out here. It says, Apple had better innovation in the last decade, but Microsoft had an infrastructure, software, and gaming to keep them going. And that goes to both. That goes to the credit of both of those companies, right? So, in the stock market, outside of Coca-Cola and Johnson and Johnson, my biggest holding at this point is an ETF, which is MGK, and this is not investment advice. I'm just talking about what I own. My third biggest holding I have is MGK, and when you look at MGK, the top two companies are Microsoft and like Apple. So, I just think the argument is interesting always between these two. It's like a Jay-Z and Nas argument, dog. Like, you got people that's just gonna fall on one side or the other, and it's never gonna be a resolution. Both are great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Apple users are all made to feel like they're part of the super secret member only organization.
I think
Marketing strategy. Listen, Cedric, like, people be telling me like, yo, don't even text me if I ain't got the right like color bubble or whatever that thing
yeah.
is, y'all Apple or
Yeah,
whatever them
hold
Apple.
up. I get a little offended when people talk to me like that because I'm like, I'm on the better phone. Why are they talking to me like this?
Listen, she told you. That's how they make you feel, man. Yo, you ain't
Yeah,
got the right color bubble. Don't even text them. The advantage of the expandable memory on the Samsung phone. If Apple gave us expanded memory slot, they would own the phone market. That's somewhat true. The thing about my Galaxy Note, though, like if I don't have an S Pen, I don't want it. Because even when it comes to Samsung, I don't even want the
yeah.
regular Galaxy. I need the Note. I need my pen, dog. Like,
It has to be the
first
new.
of all, I'm gonna give away a secret right now. For those who follow our any of our pages, all those memes, I'm able to make those memes because I use a Galaxy Note. Because that pen, dog, it opens up a whole nother level of creativity. Um, she had the S2 through S9. She finally got an iPhone X, and I'm unmoved. I mean, that's because you was all caught up in the other system too, though. But if you had that, but you also had a MacBook and an iPad, and truth be told, Galaxy is way ahead as far as operating system. Just Apple's marketing strategy outweighs Galaxy. That's literally it. The one thing I will say though, and this is coming from again someone who uses both, I think that the iPad is far superior to the Samsung tablets.
It is.
Um,
It is. It
they
ain't
got
even
the
close.
iPad. They got the iPad on lock. Apple's ease of use made their products better for the masses. Kenan, that's it right there, right? If I'm talking to an aunt
That's
or a
how
grandparent
Robinhood.
or
They got
somebody
the
like that,
Robinhood effect. They was first
yeah,
though. It's the
yeah,
Apple effect, but it's the same thing. Easy use, and they changed the
absolutely,
game because when you
absolutely.
used to go to brokerages, the easy use. There's no such thing as easy use. You get on here and you do it the way we tell you to do it, or you just suffer. And now,
Apple
but
was
when
Tom Brady.
Robinhood came in, it changed everything up.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, ho, ho. Don't be calling my company Brady even. I mean, Peyton Manning even, man.
You don't like Peyton Manning? I ain't gonna get into that,
No,
man.
man. No, he overrated
But you
as
gotta get
hell,
it.
too.
Uh,
He overrated. Switch that around. Overrated ass Peyton Manning.
consumer
Never
mindset is
overrated
crazy.
it.
Cedric,
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if you ever read this book. There's a great book. I think it's by Martin Lindstrom. It's called Brandwash. We bring it up on here all the time because anytime these kind of conversations start, we always bring that book up. It's about brandwash and how consumers. But then when you think about it, right, 24/7 we're being sold to. we're being sold to so much. Like it's absolutely insane. Like anytime you go on any social media app, you leave the house, you got ads everywhere, they're flying everywhere. You got the suggestive selling within the drama series you watch now. Like it's to the point now when I watch TV shows, I'm like, what kind of device they using? You know what I'm saying? Oh, everybody happens to have a
Yeah,
Microsoft
one
Surface,
kind of
right?
device. Yeah,
Yeah, like come on, man. So we're constantly being sold to. I mean,
every
I know,
single
I know,
second
I
of
know, I
every
know
day.
some I mean, not me personally, but some of my savage friends who go on social media to look at scantily clad young ladies. They getting sold to too, right? They selling tummy teas and you know what I mean? Not me. I'm saying some of my friends. But anyway, they selling to you too. Like, yo, you are
Yo,
constantly
I,
being
I
sold
bet
to.
you
This is
every dude, I bet you
America is going
every single dude in the world got a closet full of flat tummy tea he never used.
but my point is, you can't escape it. You're being sold to
Oh
no matter where
God.
you go. So I always think about consumer mindset, but then I always I take a step back and say, well, like, what are you supposed to do? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
every
What are you
second
supposed?
you being bombarded every second of every day.
Yeah, it's all about brand loyalty, not better quality of your products. I agree with that too. I'm speaking on phones, not tablets. I heard that. Listen, I'm not going to disagree with you. I actually, if someone asked me what's the better phone, the Galaxy, I like this. I like Samsung's phones better. But I understand is what I'm saying. I totally get it. But
No, for
yeah,
sure.
man, you can't so constantly, man. I haven't read it. Shall indulge things, no problem, absolutely. But they talk about like branding and how we're branded to since
Yeah,
since we were
Brainwash
kids.
is a powerful book. It'll change the way you look at things. It's one of those
Because I
books that'll give you what's that Netflix joint that just came out where they told you about brand.
the
Uh,
social dilemma,
Social Dilemma. Well, I read Brainwash before I saw that, and so I wasn't
everything.
as shocked and surprised as most people because I had come across a lot of that information before I got to that.
Yo, like we constantly being sold to, and I find it funny too because I remember like watching what was the joint that Netflix came their first series, the President joint, with Kevin Spacey in it, right?
Oh God, what is the
Whatever the name of that
damn
joint is, they were selling so many products. It's like, yo, isn't it? You if you go back and watch it, it's so many shots of like someone standing there and like the product is
products?
prominently next to him.
Oh man, what is the
And
name of that
a man
shit?
was on that rowing machine that was he was going crazy on a rowing machine. Next thing you know, the rowing machines are being sold.
Yo,
So
all right, audience, because I'm not gonna be able to. What's the name of the Kevin Spacey show where he was the president and his wife?
yeah, it was a
Uh,
remake of a British show. I can't think of it. Somebody will tell us in the joint. But
House
yeah,
of
we
Cards.
constantly
House of
House of
Cards.
Cards
That's what it was.
always happen. TV show might be set for 60 minutes, 45 minutes, and the damn shit gonna be commercials. Yo, and that's what I'm saying. And then within the show, they selling you stuff. Like that's
Yeah,
the crazy
man.
part.
People don't know
Yeah,
what they
Steve
want
Jobs
until
did
you
say
tell
that.
them.
Fax me that. Fax me that. Let's see. The product placing in movie. Yo, Rich, that's what I'm saying. It's
Crazy.
gotten out of hand.
You can't watch
The
a Marvel
minority
movie. You can't watch
yo,
no
minority
Marvel
report.
movie.
The
It's
minority report was the
crazy.
worst with that. It was the absolute
It
worst
was.
with that.
But that was the point of the Minority Report, though. That was the point of the that was part of the point of the movie.
Yeah. Rich Dad Poor Dad. Absolutely.
Hey,
Everybody mentions that. That's one of those books. But yeah, we got I had a bad experience with Surface. It stopped working after a year and a half and can't even turn it on. I had a colleague who told me the same thing. They was like, yo, one day it just didn't cut on. I was like, damn. Um, it's
sorry to
tough.
hear that. I shouldn't laugh, but damn, that's
And
crazy.
to be honest with you, that's another thing about Apple products, right? But to me, that's the one thing I didn't see it necessarily as a weakness, but I always thought about this. Like they're getting better at making their products, but the better they get at making their products, the longer they last. That's why they got caught. Wasn't it them that got caught a couple years ago, like slowing down the phones
Yep,
because
they were
their
making the
their
product too good, and
their
people weren't buying the
hardware
new product.
their hardware is so good that you almost don't have to upgrade, which is why they do things now like put the crazy cameras on there. So now you can, because it goes back to the whole mindset. Someone could look at your camera and say, "Oh, you got the old John," because the actual device still works perfectly fine. That MacBook that I bought that MacBook, and I'm gonna knock on wood as I say this because I'm probably about to jinx myself by saying this. I bought that John in 2007,
Damn,
and it works
that's
like it's
damn.
brand new. In between that time, you want to know how many Windows machines I had?
Probably what this 13, you probably 13.
In between that
Probably
time, I
went
had
through
so many
13
Windows machines,
machines. Listen,
and that's what I'm
I done,
saying.
I done
And
been
that's what
through,
I'm
but
saying.
that's what Microsoft. But Microsoft is.
No, I know because
I
all of them was
won't.
in Microsoft. All of them Microsoft. So I know. But I'm just saying in general. So it's their quality of product though. I think it's an interesting debate though. I think you calling them overrated was kind of like slanderous, but at the same time, that's your opinion, man. I can't argue your opinion. You think they overrated? You think they
A
overrated?
little bit overrated. Great company, but people be putting them at the top of the totem pole, man. They not at the top, man.
And just like I say with phones, right? I might not agree with that, but I see why. I see why. But something that's interesting that came like that I thought about during this um is about like and it's something that Cedric has said when she talked about like consumer mindset. When I look at that, it's one of the reasons why they're like trying so hard to get iPads into schools, and while Google's trying to get their Chromebook into schools, they're
Yeah,
fighting for that because
they're fighting for
you
that
lock those kids in.
indoctrination that Microsoft has. They're trying to take that Microsoft, what's that share? Because all my students on a Chromebook, I teach every day. Every student I have is on a Chromebook,
Mhm.
every single one of them. So you talking about a whole school district using Chromebooks.
Yeah, so
So
I
you
think
talking
that's
about those
interesting.
government contracts. That's why uh, School of the Future, Microsoft started a whole damn. They started schools. So when everybody else was on a whole different vibe, Microsoft started schools, and then they start putting their products in those schools, and they got a 10-year head start on everybody else.
Yo, it's so smart, but it's so evil at the same time. That's basically
It
what the
was.
Koch.
It was wicked as hell.
That's what the
But
Koch
it
brothers.
was.
That's what the Koch brothers did. I ain't trying to turn this to a show about books, but the book called Dark Money. I don't know who wrote it, but it's called Dark Money. But within that book, they talk about how the Koch brothers decided at some point, all right, well, look, let's just stop fighting races right now. Let's go to the higher education, and they invested so much money into specific professors to get them to teach their their ideals. And now, when you see people who are on Fox News and a lot of conservative think tanks, came from them deciding to invest money into education. It's almost it's evil, but you see why people do it. And I guess soft drinks have done that in the past too. I remember reading stories about Coca-Cola and Pepsi fighting to get their machines within certain schools because
Yep.
you get them hooked early. Um,
Same thing with fast food joints. It's either
and I
Coke
think
or Pepsi products.
Yeah, and I think about you when me and you just had this conversation about YouTube and how the kids in our families, how they look at YouTube, right? They look
Yeah.
at YouTube to the point where they don't even care about mainstream media or mainstream movies.
None
It's
of that
like
shit.
these YouTube people are their celebrities. Like this is who they watch. This is who they look up to. So I think it's interesting because that's Google, right?
Yeah.
Um,
That's why I said
yeah.
that
So
Google marketing is on par with Apple. That's why I said that, not because of anything that they're doing special, but because they hire personalities on a level that everybody uses their brand. Like when you go, like, and then also they have the search engine. So their marketing with that search engine is crazy. So like if you want to look up something, you say I'm Googling it. So they they have the marketing on that same level. That's why I was saying when we was having the
Cedric,
marketing conversation,
Cedric, okay, Cedrica,
Cedric,
got you.
Cedric.
Cedrica, got you. Cedrica, got you. I'm gonna say it right. I don't want to say your name wrong. I apologize, Cedrica. Dark money equals dark persuasion. Man, you ain't never
We,
lied.
you should have been on our show last week. My man talk about
You ain't never
my
lied. Dark.
man, Dave Williams. He talk about dark persuasion every single day.
Yeah,
That's
and that's
right.
another
They-
too,
but
man.
that's part of that's acquisitions are part of what makes companies good.
I
When you
mean,
cite YouTube, but Google didn't invent it, they bought it. Exactly.
and that's the one.
Facebook,
That's the one behemoth we ain't been mentioning is Facebook. We ain't really mentioned them. Like
we
they're
on
gonna be a part
Facebook.
of this too.
We on two of the
Yeah, we on
behemoths now.
yeah, yeah.
Most
They
big
don't really
companies
innovate.
don't innovate. Most big companies don't innovate. There's two
Well, you
ways
gonna
to there's
go
two
ahead.
ways to innovate in your business. One is to spend a lot of money on R&D like Tesla does, right? And then the other way is to make smart acquisitions. That's more like the Amazon and Google model. So that's really the two ways that companies try to innovate. They either try to they either spend X billions of dollars doing it themselves, like Tesla, or they they outsource it and buy it from somewhere else. Like Amazon is the poster child for buying companies.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy, right? Here's what's crazy. So Google kind of does both with their Google Labs or whatever. But Google is funny because Google like use us as like guinea pigs. They throw stuff out that's not even ready, and that's another reason why a lot of Apple people like Apple stuff, because when like for the majority of the time they're never first, but they wait until they get all the bugs out. When like Google will throw something out half baked, and then they end up with stuff like, right now they got Hangouts, they got Google Voice, and they got like the other one, Duo, whatever it is. And like, yo, what are you doing?
All of them do the same thing.
What are you doing? But they're testing things out. Like I got to
I
think
mean, to
today.
be honest, my kids, because we're on Google products, when we want to FaceTime, we use Duo.
Mhm.
So I don't, because we're on,
But what was the point of that? Everything you do on Duo, you could already do in Hangouts.
you
Like,
could, but
like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they
with that,
be trying
but they
different
put
stuff.
it in the app though. So once they put it in the app and attached it to your phone number, now you click on it instead of having to
No,
go to
I
Hangouts
know how it
and do
works. But what I'm
all
saying
that
is
other stuff. You just click
Hangouts
on it.
attached to Hangouts attached to your number too. You can go into Hangouts and attach it to your number.
I
It did the
understand that.
same thing. And the same thing with Google Voice. Like, so now you have Google Voice, which still exists, which was another company they bought, by the way.
Yep.
Um, Back in the day. But anyway, I'm just saying they like really use us as guinea pigs, man. And let's see, thanks y'all. It's Cedric, but with an A, Cedrica. And Diamond Dave is a mentor of mine. I took his dark persuasion course, loved it, and now apply it to my marketing strategies. That's why you on point.
Yeah, that's why you know
Because
that.
Dave is that guy. Dave is that guy. Salute to Diamond Dave, man. That's our guy.
Salute.
And like, listen, I get game from Dave like pretty much on a daily
All
basis,
the
man.
time. Yeah,
Dave be
Dave,
like,
he a monster.
Dave be having me questioning my beliefs. But when it comes to Facebook versus Google, I would say Google is on another level. If both started charging for their services, I can walk away from Facebook in a heartbeat, but I will have to cut that check to Google. Man, we'll stay around here much longer, but I do want to ask this question, right? Um, Based upon what Don just said, I think that's interesting because I'm sitting there thinking about it.
Yeah, I
I
cut
mean,
Google that.
Google probably knows more about me than anyone, right? Considering the
Anybody.
amount of services I use at Google. But I understand like Facebook connects people.
Yeah.
And one thing we should learn from COVID is without that connection, like people go crazy. So the question I had to the audience that is still watching with us, Facebook or Google, if you had to pay for one or the other, which one would you be willing to pay for? Because Google has a lot of products I use, but I can quickly replace everything I do with Google with Microsoft. I can replace my Google Drive with OneDrive. I can replace Docs with Word. I use all the Google products, but I can replace them quickly with that. I can Outlook instead of Gmail. I can replace them. What's replacing IG and Facebook? I mean, you could say some of the other socials, but it's not the same.
Yeah, if both of them asked me to cut a check, I would cut a check for my Google services first, though.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, not that Facebook cut us a check, but I would rather have those services than what Facebook provides.
But I think about that
Because
connection, like
because I also use other stuff. So I use um let me just go on my phone real quick because I can tell you all of the
I
other
mean, I
stuff.
use
We use Band. We use Band.
yep.
Um, uh, what's the other name? What's the joint? Oh man, it's so many Telegraph or whatever those joints. So
Yeah,
it's a
I'm
gathering.
on. Listen, I'm on everything. So
Yeah.
Telegram, I'm on all.
So
I'm on
I
all.
could use I could get off of Facebook and still
But it's
have
not the same.
my
See,
connection.
so I'll be completely transparent, right? 95% of my family, I wouldn't keep in touch with them or talk to them if it wasn't for Facebook. I'm being honest. That's just me. I know some of y'all won't admit that, but some of y'all are just like me. It's the reason I know a lot of my cousins and uncles and aunts' birthdays. It's the reason that we check in with each other. Like, it's not that it's not a genuine connection. We still we care about each other. We check in, But Facebook kind of brought all that, right? And I'm not singing their praises because there's a lot of evil that comes with Facebook. But if I'm being honest, like I lose a connection to a lot of family and friends by disregarding Facebook that I won't do if I disregard Google. There are other services, but one of the reasons that Facebook works in that, because first of all, if I'm being very honest, when Google Plus came out, Google Plus was a way better product than Facebook.
It
Problem with
was.
it, it was a ghost town. It was me and a bunch of other nerds over there. Like nobody was over there. So it was difficult for it to catch traction.
Yeah,
Facebook
but
has
you
everybody.
got Pinterest and like there's all these other platforms, you know what I mean, that have duplicated what Facebook has done, right? So you got Snapchat and whatever, you know what I mean? What's that? Um, Twitter, you got
TikTok.
Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, and then you also have your other, like I said, it doesn't do the same exact thing. Like I said, you got Pinterest and you got all of these other joints.
Yeah, but they're
So
not the same. You can't compare any of those things to Facebook. Not one
no,
of them.
Facebook is the behemoth. It is the big boy in the room.
It's
With
a
what I'm saying,
city. Facebook has so many people. Like a city. I mean, sorry, it's a country, like a continent. Like
it's a
Facebook is a
continent. It's
continent.
2 billion
Like
users,
it's
over 2 billion users. So I
there's nothing that like that I can't like do that Google does that I can't find anywhere else. So Don brings up a point. I'm about to get to that in a second. She said you Google everything. Facebook, because I make a lot of money on here. I would just look at it as necessary investment, and the same for us. Like
yeah,
I
same
mean,
thing. Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. The Facebook is 99% of my Facebook friends. I don't know them. Shout out to you, Fatima. You must be out here getting money too, then. Because that's a lot of people
yeah,
get money don't
man,
even be knowing. But no, that's how it is. That's how I am on Twitter. Not on Facebook is like I actually know most of my Facebook friends, a lot of them at least.
yeah.
And this is the point I want to get to right here. Um, I feel Facebook is duplicated, but Google/YouTube can't, in my opinion. First of all, here's my point to that though. Everything you do on Google in terms of their apps and services, you can do
You
on
can do with
Microsoft,
Microsoft. You can do the same thing. Yep.
even down to the search engine. Like Bing may not be as good as it, but they have a search engine. All the different communication tools they have, Microsoft has all of them. In terms of YouTube, Facebook is on YouTube's heels, believe it or not. Facebook is on their heels right now, building out their infrastructure with their video platform. Right. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
Thank you,
Larry's anything
Larry.
goes. Larry, what's up, brother, man? Always love the positive comments. We appreciate that, man. And Don says this too, right? So he says it's the same way. Facebook does keep you connected, and that's what I'm. And the funny thing is, if you'd asked me this question months ago, I probably would have been on the other side. But I'm just thinking it's Facebook because the one thing I recognized through Rona is that connection. Like, imagine how people would have been if there was no Facebook when they went through, was still going through this pandemic, right? People, you told them they couldn't go outside for a couple of days, they were losing their mind, or they couldn't congregate or socialize. People was like, "Yo, you affecting my life."
The death toll would be out of control.
Yeah, like, but Facebook allowed some sort of connection, no matter how fake you may think that connection is. Facebook just provides that reach you need in order to reach your target market almost effortlessly. And I
I
remember the
agree.
first time I paid for a Facebook ad. The first time I paid for a Facebook ad is when I had an
Yeah,
aha moment. And I said, yo, Zuckerberg then built the money printing machine. When I
yeah, he
saw how
did.
you could target down to a specific demographic, and I was using it to sell a property. And I told the story a million times. I sold a $500,000 property on Facebook, and the person didn't even come look at the property, literally. And I said, yo, and I just did my targeting in terms of marketing. I said, yo, Zuckerberg then built at the time, it was like, Facebook's people still coming here sharing their jokes and memes, like I still do to this day. But that was the aha moment when I was like, yo, this is a cash cow. You talk about
Yeah.
marketing,
Nah,
you know.
believe me. Listen, I ran 2 ads, and when we first started this here, and when they started asking me all those questions, I was like, dang, like you could target your cousin in South Zimbabwe and
Yo, I could
literally
target
target
like
him down to his like damn near to his DNA. I was like, damn, like it's crazy.
Zuckerberg built a money print machine, Facebook and IG and WhatsApp. Let's not forget WhatsApp is part of Facebook too.
Yeah,
Got people's minds and connects people's hearts. And that's the thing. You get to people's minds and hearts, It's ball
You
game.
win. Like Apple again. That's why they win.
Facebook is the matrix. I'm not going to disagree with
Yeah.
that. Facebook is the matrix, and Coinbase is the feds. You know what it is, Rich. So period. They changed the game. Cedric, you're
They did.
absolutely right, man. Facebook was a game changer, man. Listen, so this has been an amazing episode, man. We got to a lot of conversations about stuff that we really want to talk about with the conversation. Like anytime fame comes up, we get into crazy conversations because that also shows me another thing. Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Netflix, those companies run the world. And I say that
Yeah.
because anytime any one of those companies comes up, we go off on a tangent in a conversation we didn't plan on
So I
having.
said 45
Um,
minutes just talking about two
yeah,
companies.
Fang. Yo, Fang does. Anytime a Fang comes, it could be Facebook, Google, Amazon. Not so much Netflix. Although Netflix dominates, what they got going on. But yeah, that's either here nor there, man. But I
Yeah.
just think that Fang, it's interesting to see how much Fang has changed and how much Fang has grown. And when you look at a lot of these index funds, they get to Don who's the index fund guy. All these index funds are heavy in Fang now.
Yep.
It's crazy. I remember a couple of years ago, it just wasn't like that.
I
Crazy.
mean, that's where the money at. The market moved to where the money was at. That's like moving to a better neighborhood. They moved to a better neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah. And the last thing I want to bring up before we get out of here, what's scary about that is when you talk about Amazon, less than 30% of the population shop online. So they still got room to grow, even though they're Amazon, right? Couple more comments I'm gonna put up here, and then we're gonna get out of here. Kenan, man, we appreciate your support for checking in with us. We appreciate that. Cedrica, make sure I said it right. Cedric, make sure I said it right. We appreciate your support, man, and salute to Dave for sending us our way. Because you brought a lot of value to this show as well.
Yeah.
You sharp. I should have known because you sharp. Like you brought all the great points. Courtney Jane, Peace Kings. What kind of workshops do you have for young people? I have some youth, 8 to 16, that could benefit. So, Courtney, here's what I'll say. Every year we usually are in the community giving out a workshop to kids for free. We've done it over the last 5 years, but because of the climate, we weren't able to do that. So right now we have a complete workshop. I mean, not workshop. We have a complete website being built out, which will be at bythehoodcamp.com, and it's going to have everything for the youth. Now, if you have like a class or something that you want us to shoot us an inbox because we usually we were supposed to be speaking at a school in December, but that got postponed as everything else. So we're trying to take that online as well. So if you have like a group of kids you want us to talk to and teach, we do have Corey. I'll give him his credit. He's put together a curriculum to help teach kids about investing in business, and we're figuring out now how to do that via Zoom. Just because we feel like at this point we have to. We can't necessarily go to where we want to go to. We would travel in the past, but now we can't. So shoot us an inbox right here on our Facebook page or go to our IG page at By the Hood. Shoot us an inbox and we'll get in touch with you and figure out just like what kind of do you have a group or a class, and we'll definitely make it happen. And when it comes to the kids, it's free of charge. It's that's on us. Before you guys go, opinion about Coinbase app, please. What is the best app to buy and watch cryptocurrencies? Man, that's a loaded question, but I will get into it. And I know Rich is in here as well because Rich is my guy. Rich has taught me a lot about crypto. But Coinbase is, I want to compare that to, going back to this episode, like an Apple or Robinhood. They're the simplest. It's very simple to use. If you're just getting involved, I do recommend Coinbase because it helps you get into the game, get the coins, follow the coins. But you can also graduate, for lack of a better term, past Coinbase. But that's the starting point. I think that's the starting point, in my personal opinion, for everybody is Coinbase because you're able to change your fiat into crypto very easy. I still said it wrong. Hold up, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get back to you. I'm gonna get to you in a second. She says Cedric with an A. Cedric.
Cedrica. She put it in the. She did the
I said
phonetic
Cedrica,
spelling.
but then she said I said Cedrica, but then she said no, Cedric with an A. So Cedrica. So all right, my bad. I apologize either way. I don't like saying nobody's name wrong. But Fatima, I think Coinbase is the best place to start. There's other apps that are very simple as well, like Gemini, which is owned by the Winklevoss twins. I probably shouldn't say the name. I might get kicked off this site. but but the Winklevoss twins, Another book recommendation. There's a amazing book about the Winklevoss twins called The Bitcoin Billionaires.
Yeah, man. Them dudes,
Excellent
they
book.
wild. They wild as hell.
Excellent book. Excellent book. But they have a platform called Gemini, which is another very simple, easy to use site as well.
Yeah,
So I
I'm
will
on
start
both
with
of
those
those.
two. I will start with those two to get started, and then you can, come to us after that. And we do have a crypto course, by the way. If you're looking to learn about crypto, we do have a crypto course. And I'm just going to say Miss or Mrs. Simpson, because I might be saying that wrong too. Miss Simpson, I apologize. I'm just going to say that. Just call you Miss Simpson. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm going to do. So I don't say it wrong no more. Don, we appreciate your support as always, good brother. You already know what it is. Courtney, we appreciate you for send that inbox to us and we'll get with you. We promise you we will do that. What about investing for adults? All right, so we have investing for adults. We have By the Hood University. In By the Hood University right now, we have two courses. We have the Intro to the Stock Market. We also have Stock Market Analysis. Those two courses right there are enough to get you in the game. So I would say go to By the Hood University, or you can shoot us an inbox as well, and we'll get you set up. And one of the things about any student of By the Hood University, we give you that platform to learn. We put you in our private group with other people that look like us who are investing on a daily basis, so you can ask questions and share information. And also, we partner with you in business. So once you become a student of By the Hood University, we'll make you an affiliate of By the Hood University. So if you know anybody else looking for that, you can actually make some revenue. And there's people that are making revenue by they don't even have their own course. They say, y'all got a stock course, send it to their family and friends, and we split the revenue with you. So that's one of the advantages of going through By the Hood University. And for our students of By the Hood University, we actually do Zoom calls for them and their family who aren't students, just to engage them with investing and give them any sort of knowledge that we have. So
yeah, we
so
be
go to
out
By
here
the
in
Hood
these streets.
University or shoot us an inbox. And yeah. One of you got to drop a top 10.
We
Yo,
can do
Don, it'd
that
be
next
so
week.
hard for me to drop a top 10.
We can do that next week. I got
Listen,
a
man,
top 10. I have a top 10.
This one time, as a matter of fact, if you go to the link in our bio, Corey and I did an interview with another podcast, which was all about reading. It was from in the library. And they asked me for a top 10, and I swear I must have read it off like 30 books.
But
the point is,
like top 50.
also in our bio, there's a recommended books list that we keep, like some from books that we read and we like, and from our guests that come on our normal podcast. So, free for this, man. You shit in the toilet paper. No doubt. Listen, man, we appreciate the love. But that's what it's about. We about
Cedrica.
Yeah, we about the community, man. That's what it's about, man. And bless you as well. Thank you. I definitely support the children's business and investment course. All right, no doubt. If you have any questions, make sure to reach out to us.
Shoot us an inbox, Demetrius.
Yeah, shoot us an inbox. And Demetrius, man, listen, gotta tell you about Demetrius before we get out of here. Demetrius is a brother who's doing work in Connecticut in the community. He's a business owner. And he was the most recent guest on our podcast, which is out now on all platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify.
Yeah. Demetrius is a beast.
And is also on our YouTube channel, right? So make sure you check out the interview, because Demetrius is also a reader, and he dropped many gems and many book recommendations within that episode. And the episode went kind of long, because once we start talking books, it gets to be kind of crazy. So, but Demetrius, we appreciate you, bro. And same to you, Miss Simpson. We love and support you for showing us love this evening. Y'all gotta do a battle rap. Yo, man.
Corey, I got bars, Rich. I got real life bars, Rich. I used to fancy myself to be a rapper. I got real life bars, Rich. I'm gonna actually do a rap. I ain't gonna do no damn Microsoft versus Apple rap, but I'm gonna do a By the Hood rap.
All I got is black wealth bars, man. Listen, one thing I will tell y'all though, y'all got, when this course comes out probably next week, this intro to precious metals, y'all gotta get, because first of all, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm gonna run a special between now and the end of the holidays when I drop it, and after that, the price of a brick is going up. Because the value I'm giving in this
right,
these bars I'm giving in this precious metals course, y'all, it's gonna make somebody wealthy. And Don can vouch for me, because Don's seen When I brought metals to the timeline, you see cats on Twitter, Facebook. It's happening. So, and I haven't even given out all the gems. I'm giving out all the secrets and ways to kind of navigate that market. So I'm just letting y'all know that right now, man. And Don says that episode was dope. He wrote down a load of books from that episode. Yeah, we was talking books all kind of crazy in that episode. Anyway, man, folks, listen, because we'll be here all night talking because we love talking with y'all. Just want to say thank you for all the support as always. Go check out Bodyhood University and see the courses that we have there. The Precious Metals course isn't out now, but it will be out by next week. Also, if you haven't yet, Own Your Time and Space. This is a book that was written by Corey and us. It was a bestseller. It's a fire book. The gems that we gave in this book, man, we probably should have charged 3 times the amount we charged for the book. This book is actually being used in college courses, and I can show you the proof. Because of some of the things that we say in here. Also, another book I wrote called Sports the Book. Yes, right. 2-time published author, soon to be 3. Corey and I got another book dropping for 2021. But just want to say, listen, thank you for all the support. We'll be back here next Friday talking about who knows what. Probably going to be talking about, investing in baseball cards or something. But we're going to talk about money. That's what we're going to do. But I want to say thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the people that bought merch. I know Don put his shirt in the timeline. Malik shirt in the timeline. I got the new coins and crypto shirt.
The stacker journal. Yeah, this is the original Bodyhood shirt right here. This is the original.
And by the way, I'm just letting y'all know that we got it in different colors. I got the stacker journal over here and the fire orange. But anyway, I say that to say thank you for everybody who supports the merch, who supports the books, who supports the courses. That allows us. Oh, the hat. I'm sorry. Yeah, that allows us, the support you guys give us and tuning into our content and buying our merch and courses allows us to go into the community and give all the free stuff that we give away. So just want to say thank you for that. And remember, if you do sign up for Bodyhood University and take any of those courses, because we also have partnered with a stock options course with DYO, Discover Your Options. But any of it gets you access to our private group and also allows us to, service your family, give a presentation that we do via Zoom for your entire family to try to get them started in investing. So
free.com,
I'm Jimmy.
That's free.com. They don't cost nothing.
That's my partner, Corey. Just want to say thank you again. We love y'all, appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all later on. Peace.